What's up, guys? This is Benjamin Eisenman here, and today I'm going to show you something that you've always wanted to do since you were little. You've always wanted to fly like Superman. Like seriously, who hasn't wanted to fly like Superman since they were little? What we're going to try to do is to replicate the Superman jump flight. And so I have here, so I can show you exactly what I'm talking about. I'm going to show you first my channel so you can go and subscribe. In my channel I have a lot of magic videos, a lot of visual effects videos, and kindness videos. So basically the latest video, Fly Like the Man of Steel, uploads, magic videos, killer films, probably have those, shorts and sketches, give back videos, and tutorials for After Effects. I have about 85 videos. You can go and click, and you can actually, be a pro and just share it with your friends, So I'm going to show you exactly what the effect looks like. So basically, check it out. So that's pretty much it, guys, and that was this weird scream. So what we're going to do is replicate that. So let's dig right into it. Alright, so first thing we're going to do, this is how the main comp works. This is how the flight comp works. So as you can see, we're flying the cut to a part right there, and then go ahead and do that. So the way we do that exactly, when I jump and go to an exact position where I look like I'm going to fly, and the body is really stretched, I go ahead and mask that and then actually jump up. So when I jump up, I switch to a flight shot in which I move the camera, and then I went ahead and just looked right there so I could see myself fly for a bit and then come back down just like that and fall right there. So what basically happened there is I took the exact video, that video, I made the flight, and then I added a wave right here. I added a wave, as you can see right there. It's this white wave right here. So I'm going to show you right here, right wave. And we're going to try to replicate that, then go ahead and do the jump. Those three things right there, those three flights, and come back down like that. So I'm going to show you that in slow motion so you can see. I'm actually coming back down. It's not illusion. It's not magic. Watch. So look. Here's how it looks. So I'm going to fly, I'm flying, and then falling, boom! And then I get there, the camera shakes, and then I add a little bit of a zoom right there, and boom, all just screwed up. And then, there it goes. So I'm going to try to begin and do that. So I'm going to drag first my super jump shot, which is when I jumped, to make a new comp right here in this icon. So it's going to make a new comp, but we want to enlarge the comp so we can have more space in order to work with that. So I'm going to take it, I'm going to make 60 seconds of comp. And then it's going to be a much larger comp. We're going to have more space for that. So I'm going to just go ahead and go to the part where I really reach down to jump. I'm going to hit Alt bracket. Alt left bracket so I can snap it out. And then go ahead and take exactly the amount of things I want. So boom. When I reach that point, that's where I actually, jumped. So I'm going to show you how to do that. First, we want to split the layer right there. We want to split the layer. So boom, when I reach that point, we want to split the layer right there. So we go to Edit, Split Layer. So in Split Layer, we have two shots right now. So After Effects works like this. You have a lot of layers inside and on top of another. So that's how it works. That's how Photoshop works also. So I'm going to take it. I'm going to cut right there, and I'm going to come back. That's all we need for this. So what we need to do right now is take this shot and transform it into a fly mask. So if you don't know what a mask is, I'm going to set it flight body mask. So if you don't know what a mask is, I'm going to show you right now. So there's something called the mask tool. The mask tool, when you hit G, you go to the mask tool. If you hit V, you go to the select tool. If you go G, you go to the mask tool. So in order to zoom in, we want to click Command plus or Control plus in a PC. In Mac, it's Command plus. So I'm going to take my body, And before that, I'm going to go ahead and right click the flight body mask and go to time, freeze frame, so I can freeze the frame. So now all we got to do is, even if it's scroll, the image is not going to move. So look at this. It's going to freeze. As you can see, I'm going to show you right a little bit more zoomed out. It's going to freeze. Look. Yeah, so it freezes right there. It's like it's stopping time. It's pretty cool. So it's pretty cool. So what we're going to do is I'm going to take that flight body mask, and I'm going to actually mask it. So I'm going to take it. I'm going to mask it out. I'm going to mask that out. So I'm going to take the mask tool. I'm going to hit G and go ahead and begin masking. Oh, that's a flight layer. I'm sorry. That's a shape layer. So I'm going to hit the layer right here. I'm going to go ahead and mask my body. So I'm going to do that really quick. So I can make sure you're on the top of the layer. And then you're going to mask this out. So I'm going to mask my body real quick. And I'm going to actually, just speed it up so we can make it. I'm going to take the mask that I already created before. So let's go ahead and do that. Body masks. So I'm going to go ahead and go to fly mask. So I'm going to copy it and paste it down there. So at that point, I actually took a mask, which is this one, and I actually made the mask. So you're going to go ahead and make a mask and take that shot. Look at this. So that way it flies. Look at this. So at that point, what's going to happen is this. You're going to go ahead and fly just like that. And you're going to move it up. So what happens is I'm going to close the position. I'm going to auto keyframe the position. So what you want to do is when you're right there, you want to hit P for position and go ahead and keyframe this. And then you're going to go like 3 steps up with function down. Or you go just 3 down. Boom, boom, boom. So if you're in 5-1 right here, if you're in 5-2, you're going to go 1, 2, 3, and it's 5-5. So then you're going to go ahead and zoom out so you can make space for this. And take this and actually move it up so you could be seem like you're flying. So what's happening? 1, boom, boom, right there. Boom, 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 boom. So that's what's happening. But what we want to do is leave that right there. And now we need a background for this. So we can't just leave it like that. We need a background for this. So before we do that, we want to make sure that when we actually go up, this is sped up so we can look like we took a little more power in it. And so we're going to go ahead and duplicate, actually edit, split layer. I'm going to take that layer and I'm going to actually time stretch so we can make it faster. So in order to time stretch, if you go like 80, like less than 100, it's going to be faster. The video is going to be faster. If you go 150, it's going to be slower. So we're going to go ahead and 80. And maybe 8 is too much. Maybe we go ahead and just make it a little bit of a 65 or maybe 60. So we can leave it in 60. And then if we look at this, you're going to see that we're actually sped up. Look. It's a little bit slow. It's a little bit slow. So I'm going to go ahead and take this. Actually right there when it starts. I'm going to take the layer, split layer. I'm going to time stretch this into about 40. So it's going to be a lot faster. So look at what's going to happen. There, that's a lot more quick, you see? It's a lot faster. So what we want to do is that. We want to make it a lot faster. And when it reaches that point, it just flies away. But before we do that, we want to go ahead and stretch this up. Move this keyframes a little bit. Move this keyframes. So it can be time for this to show, right? So it can be time. So let's go ahead and let's keyframe this. Yeah, so we're going to go ahead and just undo, leave it right there. And we're going to go ahead and speed this up. And when we reach that point, we want it to automatically fly, right? So we want it to automatically fly. And what we're going to do is actually leave it right there. And cut that a little bit. So I'm going to step right here, click on this layer, and then go ahead and hit Alt, right bracket. So what's going to happen is this. It's going to automatically fly. You see? Right there, right there. So we want now a background. We need a background. So I'm going to take out the flying shot, which is this exactly here. I'm going to time it out with the shot when I started flying. So what happened here is I moved my shot, I boom, right there. So when it starts moving up, that's when you want to go ahead and move it up. So boom, right there, right there. I'm going to trim it right there. Alt, left bracket. So I'm going to time this with this one. So that way, when I actually jump, let me just see. We cannot leave. We have to go ahead and do something right there. So we cannot leave this alone. So I'm going to just go ahead and click right here. In order to isolate the layer, you're just going to go ahead and click right here in the dot. So you want to go ahead and boom. So you see, when it starts, it's automatically flying in a background. So we want that to happen, but we want to put the background right here when the flight starts, so we can have something clean. So watch what's happening. You see, it looks a lot smoother now. But what we want to do is take the flight mask, go to toggle switches and modes, and hit motion blur right here, motion blur. So and then we want to turn on the motion blur for other layers in the comp, right here, motion blur. So watch what's happening now. You see, now it's a lot more smooth. So I'm showing you in slow motion. This is happening. Boom, that's it. So now, you see that the shots is a little bit different from the other one. So what we want to do is we want to actually make the shot look like the first one. So we're going to go ahead, scale this, scale the flying shot, and at the same time scale the scale jump shot. And as you can see, the fly mask has a little bit of a scale, but we don't want to alter that. We want to go ahead and modify this layer in order to be in the right scale. So let's go ahead and do that. I'm going to go ahead and set it in a little bit of about, go ahead and 110. Let's see the properties in this one. 120. It's 120. And I'm going to go ahead and see this one. It's 120, 120, 120, 122. So let's go ahead and just apply the fly mask. I'm going to apply 120, then 120 to this, and 120 to this. That's exactly what should be happening. Look, that's it. We have a much better footage. So now we have me just going a boom. That's it. So it's looking pretty smooth. It's actually not so bad. It's good. Yeah, it's good. So what we want to do is actually make this not move so much. We want to make it a little bit smoother. So we're going to take the flying shot, which is the background shot actually, and the super jump shot is going to be the one that's here. Intro super jump, which you can see is actually starting right here. Then we can take the super jump shot. We can take mid super jump, and then the fly mask is going to be the fly mask. So the flight body mask. That's it. So we can be it's just going to be like guided. So the background shot is going to be the one that we're going to fix. So let's go ahead and rotate that. As you can see, we can go ahead and just look how it rotates. We can rotate it back right there, so it looks a little bit smoother. And then we're going to move it right there. So it needs to be a little bit more like here. So we're going to move it right there. And now we want to just go ahead and make sure the black edges don't show like this. So we're going to make it right there. And as you can see, it's going to be moving a little bit. It's a little bit more moved. And we also want to move this one so we can also modify this one so it looks like a little bit. So it looks boom. Yeah, I think that's pretty cool. It's actually looking pretty good. So when we do that, we as you can see, I flew. And then right there is when we need to add our other, you see, this boom, boom, what we have right here, basically. This. Right there, and right there. So that's 3 flights. And then we want to go ahead and just leave this like that. We just flew. And that's our super jump shot. So we want to make that a super jump comp, right? So I'm going to take the super jump comp and just land right there. And what I did was that I added the fall right there. Right there where it is. I added the 3 flights later, but what I'm going to do is add the fall shot right. So what we did was this. Alright. So what I did was this. I took the fall shot. and set it right there, and then timed it so that when I fell, so that when the footage just came back down just like that, boom, then I fell. So I'm going to time it out, time it up. As we can see right here, that's when the flight shot comes. So what I did was actually I made the most out of this white space right here. As you can see, it goes up, it shows the sky, and I made the most of that, and I took the false shot mask, which is basically this. I took a mask, and as you can see, these two squares are two different layers. So I took this one, which is basically the sky, and I took this one, which is basically the landing. So as you can see, it's going to move a little bit. So I put those together. So I'm going to show you how to do that right now. You're going to take the layer, you're going to take the flight layer, this one, and you want to actually scale it a little bit so it can be more, so you can see more of the sky. I'm going to scale it to 120. And the flight body mask, and the flight, this flight body mask, fly shot, let's see. So as the background shot, we're going to go actually scale it a little bit more. So it's going to be right there. And then at that point, we're going to make the flight shot, and we want to go ahead and put the false shot a little bit down. So I'm going to take the flight shot, set it right there, and then we have it. Now I want to combine those. I'm going to take the false shot, put it right here, and make this up. Right there when I land, that's when the body would land. So right there, as you can see, the body is landing right there. I'm going to take the shot, and as you can see, it's getting blended a little bit more. It's getting a little bit more blended. So when I fall down, you will see that we're going to parent this false shot to the background shot. So when it moves, we can move it back. So here's what's going to happen. The background shot is going to be linked, the false shot is going to be linked to the background shot. So when we move this, when we move the background shot, this shot is going to move. You see? So that's perfectly combined. So now, what we want to do there is actually take and moving it, the background shot, position, and then moving it a little bit. So that way, I just fall. So as you can see. As you can see there. You see? So now I'm falling and the time when the shot moves. That's it. So what's basically happening is this. Now we only need to make the false shot begin right here. Maybe a little bit later, and then go ahead. You see? That's what's happening. Boom. That's it. Right there. So now we have the background shot right here. We have the background shot right there. I'm going to show you that in a little bit of a zoom. And now it's falling to that. You see? That's what's happening. So now I'm going to add a little bit of a motion blur so you can see this. So if we add the motion blur, you remember we add the motion blur to these two layers, and now we have a little bit more a fluent thing. But as you can see, it's looking a little bit rough right here. It's stopping. So I'm going to add a camera shake, which basically is this. I'm going to add a little bit of a camera shake effect. So it's false shot, and as you can see, we have a camera shake effect, which I downloaded from Final Cut King. So I'm going to go ahead and show you. It's called the Real Camera Shake. You can actually download it, camera shake, from the Final Cut King. So I'm going to apply that to the false shot. And that way, when I land, you will see that it's shaking. but I'm just going to add that to this. So we don't want this to be shaky. We want this to be shaky. So I'm going to go ahead, and that right there, I'm going to make it. So I'm going to split, I'm going to just undo that, and right when it lands, I'm going to split it. So I'm going to go ahead and split that layer, and then apply the real camera shake to this, so that when I land, it doesn't move the pixels, but that actually moves. So in order to make it a little bit more extreme, I'm going to go ahead and click on shake amount and set the slider to about 5. So that way it moves a little bit more. Maybe like 4. Yeah, 4 is a little bit more. So that way it moves a little bit, and then it zooms out. I'm going to show you how it zooms out. So that way it moves, and then it zooms out right there just a little bit. Boom! And then I'm going to split the layer one more time and set the slider to 1 right there. So as you can see, it's looking a little bit better. But now, as you can see, this is a little bit too slow. We want to speed that up. So I'm going to take the false shot, I'm going to take time stretch, and I'm going to set it to 50. That's going to be a little bit, a lot faster right now. So look. It's a lot faster now. So now we're getting more of a fluent Superman landing. You see? That's it. So now we want to make my body go from here to here and then fall. So I'm going to mask this out. You see that mask right there? That's me. You see that mask right there? So I'm going to take that. I'm going to take that and actually transform it into the mask. So I'll show you here. So we're going to call this fall shot 1. I'm going to call this one fall shot, mid fall shot, mid fast fall shot. I'm going to call this one fall shot 3, right? So that's where it ends. That's where I just boom, and then the camera just zooms over. The guy just walks up. My friend Franklin just walks up, and then they see me. So basically that's what's happening. So I'm going to take my body. I'm going to do the same thing I did before, but now I'm just going to add the mask that I did before, so we can, for the sake of the tutorial. And I'm going to add the mask. So I'm going to search for it, and fall shot mask. I'm going to copy it and paste it right here. So as you can see here, here's what we have. The fall shot mask is right here. So look what's happening. I'm going to delete the position. So as you can see this, it's right there. I'm going to take it. But we want to make this a little bit bigger. You will see. There it goes. So I'm going to stretch this up and take the mask. Right there. It's looking pretty cool. So I'm just position it right there so that when it lands, it just stays right there. But we want to make it like we want to cut it there. We want to leave it right there. And at first, we want to make it jump from here to down. So I'm going to go ahead and move this up. I'm going to move this up to about right there. And then animate the position by clicking the keyframe. So boom, boom, boom. And then when it lands, I'm going to set it on top of this one. So that's going to be exactly right there. So it's going to actually delete right there. So look at this. So I'm going to add the motion blur is activated in this layer. So look at this. Maybe we can speed it up a little bit more. But look. That's it. We can speed it up a little bit more. And when it goes right there. You see, it's a lot better. So that's how you do it. That's how you actually do the taking off and the landing. So I'm going to show it to you in slow motion again. Right there. Boom. And then it comes back. That's when I'm going to fly 3 times. and then it comes back and boom, there it goes. So that's basically what's happening. So now that we have our super jump shot composition, I'm going to add that composition, the super jump shot composition we had, and I'm going to actually take that and add it to a new composition. So we're going to put a composition inside another composition. Composition. No, I'm just kidding. So what's happening is I took the composition, I set it right there, and super jump shot 3. So I'm going to close this down. And the super jump layer composition, and we're going to enlarge it a little bit more. So it's taking a little bit too long. What we're going to do is set it right here. That's it. And then it's now taking 21 seconds. That's good. And I'm going to take it and snap it. So now, as we can see here, we have the comp, which is about also 3 and 23 seconds. And after that, we want to go ahead and make 3 jumps. So I have a jump wave here. First, we want to do the jump wave. So I'm going to show you how to do the jump wave. Here, you're going to create in a new composition. You're going to create a new composition and make it 920 by make it HD, and go into layer, solid, make it white, make the color white, and let's call it a jump wave mask. So the jump wave mask, and now we're going to go ahead and make a circle on it. So we're going to go ahead and take the ellipse tool and hit Command Shift in order to make an ellipse that's perfectly round and perfectly in the center. So now we want to go ahead and take that mask, duplicate it, and then click Subtract. So now we're going to go ahead and click MM for mask expansion, so it can be a little bit down. So then we have a super jump wave. So mask expansion a little bit to -50 or -75, something like that. And now you want to animate that. So we're going to hit S for scale. You want to go ahead and go to and animate this from here, and you're going to make it 0 in S scale. So now you're going to animate it to about let's see. So we have a frame here. We want to animate it to about, boom, 3 frames right there. 0, and then about 4 frames up. So it's going to be 100 there. And maybe a little bit more than 100. But we're going to do that afterwards. What we're going to do now is take that circle, jump wave, jump wave, jump wave. Take that circle, jump wave comp, and go ahead and drag it on top of your new super jump comp. So super jump wave. And now you have super jump wave. So we want to go ahead and make that 3D. So click on 3D right here. And go ahead and change the rotation so it can be on the ground. So you're going to time it over. Now move this so it can be on the ground. Right there. That's about it. So it can be scaled. And then you want to go ahead and scale this down. So scale, hit S for scale. And then, so you want to time it when it lands. So you're going to go ahead and leave it right there. So when it lands, when you jump away, this should be forming. This should be starting to scale. So I'm going to set it right there. Boom. I'm going to set it in 0. Then boom, boom. And then when it comes up, this should already be in 100. Maybe we can go ahead and make this a little bit quicker, faster. Right there. So now it's starting to look a little bit more, but we want to make the scale a little bit bigger, like about 500, and then maybe about like 350. Yeah, that's perfectly it. So before we do that, we want to go ahead. So as you see, this is moving. We don't want that. We want it to be attached to the floor. So when we go ahead and do that, we're going to create a new null. So we're going to track the footage. We're going to create a new null, call it track camera. And we're going to take this composition and go to here, go to window and show tracker. So we're going to go to the tracker and go ahead track motion. So in track motion, we're going to enlarge this and take a point where there's a lot of contrast. I'm going to take this right here. I'm going to take this right here and set it down a little bit. And then we have our contrast point. So now we're going to hit animate from here to there. So I'm going to snap this over with Alt bracket so it can be from that point on. And then go ahead and click here and track forward. So as you can see what happened here, it moved. It moved. We don't want that to happen. We want to make it so that when it moves with that. I don't know why this happened, but actually sometimes happens, so don't worry about that. Boom. So just set it right there. So now it's starting to look a little bit better. And now it's starting to move out of the frame. So that way, at that point we can actually snap it down. And we can also snap the jump wave and snap it down right here. Perfect. So now we go back to the comp, and we're going to attach this jump wave to the track camera. So now look what's happening. It's going to actually follow. That's it. So now you want to go ahead and animate the opacity. Animate the opacity by clicking animate, 0, and boom, boom, right there. Hit scale, right there. So it's going to be 100, and then it's going to be about see, so now it's staying a little bit more there. Okay, good. So now we're going to add a little bit of a motion blur right there. Now it's looking a little bit better. Boom. That's it. Boom. And then it jumps. Then we have the wave. So now we're going to go ahead and add the 3 masks. So what I did was I took a fly mask. I took a flight, I took that fly mask, and I set it on top. So I'm going to copy it, and what we did before, I'm going to copy it and show you that I pasted it here, and here's what I did. I animated it, so they jumped. So what we're going to do is, you're going to take the mask, you're going to position it right there, and you're just going to move it with a position. So I took this one, and I moved it about 5 frames. I moved it about 7 frames. I moved it to the other side. Then I took it again. I keyframed that and I moved it 5 frames, so it rotates, and now it moves back right here. And now I took 5 more frames. I took it, and so it moves right there. So this is the end result. You see, and you don't even have to track it with the camera because you're just flying. It's going really, really fast. So you don't need to be like a crack. You don't need to track the sky or anything. There it goes. Boom. It's just 3 movements of a thing. And now when I go jump back and land, that's how it goes. And then I just zoom over, come right there, and boom, I fall. And then you have your full comp. So I'm going to snap this over, and here's your final result. So as you can see, it's perfectly amazing. And that's all for the tutorial, guys. You just want to take that and combine it with your shots you had. For example, I had a fist shot right here. You can take it and take the fist. You can go ahead and combine this with a little bit of a intro shot. For example, this one, I just took it and I just filmed myself and stuff like that. So you can compose that however you want. And please be creative, guys. I hope this goes for you as well, or better than it was for me. And then you go ahead and use your Superman powers for good. And of course, use X-ray vision to watch late. I'm just kidding, but that's basically it. The Superman jump. Thank you, guys. See you in the next video, and stay tuned for more visual effects, magic, and kindness. See you, and rock on.